Hi everyone, a Chumash celebration in Kfar Chabad, the Hamadregot Band, a new yeshiva in Chavad Gilad, preparing for the year of Shemitah, and how's our main water source doing? You're watching Israeli Salad. Shalom and welcome to Israeli Salad. We are still reading, as part of the portion of the week cycle of Torah reading, the book of Genesis, Bereshit, the first book of the Torah. Throughout the country, many children have begun their first cycle of learning the 5 books of the Torah throughout the year. A special celebration marking this learning took place in Kfar Chabad. It's very important that a child's first encounter with one of the 5 books of the Torah, the Chumash, will leave a positive impression. That's why the Chumash festivals are held here in Kfar Chabad every year. The thousands of children that arrive here visit Avraham Avinu's tent, learn about the importance of hospitality, and hear the story of how Avraham understood that it was wrong to worship idols.
I told him, you agree the statues cannot move, not even a hand or a leg. So why do you pray to them? We offer an interesting, positive, and colorful experience to make the Bible experience come to life, in order that they don't think that it's just another field of learning that could sometimes be even a bit boring. And that's why we have a goal of making this day as fun as possible, so they'll remember that they started learning Chumash in this interactive, fun way.
Here are children from the Sderot Elementary School. They're learning about the laws of writing a Torah scroll and parchments of tefillin and mezuzot. The boys don tefillin, and the group get to see up close the art of writing a Torah scroll. Lots of questions are asked, and lots of answers are provided.
Today I learned Torah, and we met a Torah scribe, and they let us try writing like a Torah scribe. It's the 3rd time for me here. With my 3rd child, 20 years ago I was here. We learn a lot.
The visit of the Sderot children took place in the midst of days of continuous Qassam bombardment on their city. Even on that morning, before leaving for Kfar Chabad, the missile alert sirens blared.
At 7:45 today, as the children were on their way to school, there was a Qassam today, in the morning. It was a miracle that no one was hurt. I myself was wounded, not physically, rather shocked. I was even hospitalized. There were many miracles, a lot of glass shattered, and no one was hurt. On Thursday, my father and I were walking and we heard the siren. We didn't know where to hide. It fell 10 meters away from our house. Our neighbors were there, and they were not hurt.
In Kfar Chabad, the children and their parents learned a lot about miracles from the time of the Bible. For them, miracles are something they experience daily. And now let's sit back and enjoy some music as we meet another Israeli Jewish music band. Ladies and gentlemen, Hamadregot. Around 10 years ago, Hod Dayan and Ilan Damari joined musical skills and formed the Hamadregot Band. Using exceptional guitar skills and sweet melodic vocals, Ilan and Hod perform modern original music with Jewish overtones in a style of soft rock and pop.
During the past few years, there's been a feeling of spiritual renewal and rebirth. Many artists learn and connect to lyrics that relate to Jewish concepts and ideas.
Hamadrigot has produced 2 albums, Befetach Hadelet and Ma'ayan Chaim, and today they're working on a special album based on the unique and spiritual lyrics of the piyut. A piyut is a Jewish liturgical poem sung, chanted, or recited during prayer services. Piyutim have been written since the time of the Mishnah. On one of their albums, Hamadrigot sings the words of the piyut Tzama Nafshi, written by Rabbi Avraham Ibn Ezra. This song brought them close to the world of piyutim.
The chemistry that we felt brought us to focus on the traditional piyut lyrics and to put together this project that takes us into the world of piyut through our angle.
Hamadrigot's new album will include songs with traditional piyut lyrics, combined with Hod and Ilan's original compositions.
We discovered that there are beautiful treasures that didn't receive suitable exposure yet.
We'll hear another song by Madrigot at the end of today's program.
Please send your comments, ideas, and questions to the Israeli Salad email, yoni@israelnn.com, or leave a message on the Israeli Salad voicemail at international dialing code 972-3918-5554. That's 972-3918-5554.
Rabbi Nachman of Breslov and Rabbi Kook. Farming and Torah learning, education and brotherhood. Where does all this come together at a new yeshiva, Torah learning center in the Sumerian community of Chavat Gilad? Tuesday night near the community of Kdumim, crowded in the local yeshiva that was established in Chavat Gilad, dozens from near and far are learning a paragraph by Rabbi Nachman of Breslov. Chavat Gilad, or Gilad's farm, was founded not far from the intersection where Gilad Zar, of blessed memory, was murdered by Arab terrorists. Gilad was a security officer of the Shomron local municipality. Chavat Gilad was established by Gilad's brother Eitan, on land owned by their father Moshe. Despite the fact that the land is privately owned by the family and all legally purchased, Israeli governments have ordered its demolition twice. The Zar family did not give up, and they rebuilt the outpost, and at the beginning of the year, a new yeshiva was opened.
The yeshiva brought life to the place. There's Torah around the clock. There are prayer sessions. Some of the students combine work, some work in agriculture. There's a lot of life, spiritual and material life.
Around 20 students learn in the yeshiva. Some of them are 12th graders who had a hard time with the standard programs.
It's like heaven here. I learn only Torah. I'm using my time wisely. We learn Rabbi Nachman. We have goats. We combine everything. Also the land of Israel. I built myself a house. I now have to find a wife and settle down. And where will you live? Here.
A strong emphasis is made on combining Rabbi Nachman's teachings with the teachings of Rabbi Kook. Together, with no distinction of age, the members of the yeshiva discuss Torah and its relevance to life in our times.
In this yeshiva, you find all sorts of colors. The Torah of the land of Israel teaches us that every Jew connects to God through his own nature. If someone can learn a whole day, he should. If you can only learn 2 to 3 hours, learn, but do it seriously. Even if you feel that you can't learn, come and we'll provide you with the tools to bring upon an inner change to your inner self.
One of the rabbis here came from Tel Aviv, where he taught Torah to the non-observant crowd.
For 5 years we worked on bringing people closer to Judaism in Tel Aviv, and that must continue. Now, we're living a lifestyle that's different than in Tel Aviv, a natural Jewish lifestyle.
As part of the ideal of the yeshiva, it was decided that the students will be in charge of maintaining their institutes.
They operate the kitchen, they take care of the rooms, they are in charge of the equipment, and we receive everything with a lot of help from God.
Moshe Zal visits here a lot. He tells us that the director of the defense ministry promised him that the security gate will include Chavat Gilad, but this is a promise with no guarantee.
When I'm here, I am, of course, very happy. There are more than 12 families here, and the yeshiva, but on the other hand, I'm very sad thinking about maybe someone is planning to uproot this place. Whoever doesn't understand should go back to kindergarten, elementary school, and high school and learn that we have a right to live in this land.
Despite everything in Chavat Gilad, people are optimistic.
When we say God is the king, he's the one who's in charge. He fights the battles.
When the nation of Israel entered the land of Israel, we began counting 6 years. On the 7th year, the year of Shemitah, the Torah instructs us to refrain from almost all agricultural activity. While we are instructed to work the land 6 years, and by doing so not rely on miracles, Shemitah helps develop the capability of bitachon, of believing in God, becoming dependent on Him, and trusting in Him. Shemitah reminds us that after we have taken all the measures necessary to achieve something, it's not our efforts that bring about the result. It's a gift from God. Next year is the year of Shemitah, and rabbinical and agricultural authorities are already preparing for the fulfillment of this important mitzvah. How, if at all, are the local municipalities preparing themselves for the upcoming Shemitah year? And how will the gardeners that take care of municipal gardens make a living throughout the year? These questions and more were raised at a special conference initiated by the Institute of the Torah and the Land in cooperation with the Ministry of Agriculture. The conference was attended by observant and non-observant gardeners that wish to learn how they can fulfill the precepts of Shemitah.
We are discussing about the options regarding the operating of the gardening companies. Will they not work at all? Will they just keep the gardens clean? We're contemplating, and that's what we're doing here today. The Ministry of Agriculture has an interest that the precepts of Shemitah will be kept because we're a Jewish state. We try to do this all according to halachic rulings. For many years we've been working with the Institute and the Israeli Rabbinate. We produced a few pamphlets that educate about preserving the Shemitah.
Has the mitzvah Shemitah become more observed in Israel throughout the years?
Yes, we are seeing more and more observant farmers that want to observe Shemitah 100%.
An instructional video about observing the Shemitah in the field of gardening was produced by the Institute of the Torah and the Land. This institute, which was uprooted from its former location in Gush Katif, has replanted its roots and is continuing to grow and teach. The video footage in the film is a nostalgic look at the blossoming communities of Gush Katif. So how do we observe a whole year of no work in the field? Pre-planning.
If you prepare nicely in the 6th year, the year before the Shemitah, and you go according to all the instructions, you'll be okay. There's no problem carrying out the critical pruning and planting of grass or planting flower beds before Shemitah. The main thing is planting and fertilization, and this can be postponed until after the Shemitah year. The gardens will look nice and tidy to the benefit of the people.
ומסודר, כי זה בעצם נועד לצורך האנשים וזה מותר.
Our local municipality observes all the laws of Shemitah.
Rabbi Ariel is certain that also in the field of fruits and vegetables, the public will be more aware to the aspect of Shemitah.
The public holds the key. If the public observes and purchases only according to the laws of Shemitah, the farmers will have to observe the laws as well. It's the public's responsibility, because if the farmers don't observe it, the entire nation is violating this precept, because the land belongs to all of us. And so, the violation is not only done by the farmers, but rather by the whole public.
Here in Israel, in addition to the weather forecast, we follow the measurements of the water level in Israel's one and only freshwater lake, Lake Kinneret. Time to learn a bit about the water situation in Israel. At the end of the festival of Sukkot, we began praying for rain as part of the daily prayers. The rain that has fallen since has elevated the height of the Kinneret, Israel's main water source.
The height of the Kinneret is always seen as the parameter to measure the height of the national temper. But that's just on the psychological level. In terms of the water economy, the Kinneret has lost around 140 centimeters because of pumping and evaporation. This new increase, of course, is very positive. We hope that this change of more than 3 centimeters is just the beginning of a rainy and blessed winter, more rainy than last winter.
The Kinneret is important, but it only provides 35% of Israel's water. That's why rain throughout the whole country is also important.
Only 30% of the rain that rains in the land of Israel reaches its reservoirs. Some evaporates, some gets lost, and some reaches the sea. If we suffer from a drought like we had a few years ago, the water level could go down to what is referred to as the red line. This year begins in a situation which is not perfect, but it's better than it has been for many years. And I think we should look forward to good news. Nevertheless, we're working on creating other water sources in addition to rainwater. We, in Mikorot, plan to use more treated wastewater and desalinated water in addition to the natural sources of the water.
Each one of us uses around 200 liters of water a day. So let's pray for a long and rainy winter. Okay, that's all for this week. We'll end with a song by Hamadrigot. Join us again next week. Until then, from all of us here at INN TV, Arutz Sheva, Shalom.
שפל רוח, שפל ברך וקומה, אקדמך ברוב פחד ואימה. לפניך אני נחשב כתולעת קטנה באדמה. ללא עולם אשר אין קץ לגודלו, החמוני יהללך ובא הדרך לא יחילו מלאכי רום, ועל אחת אני חמל וחמה. היטיב אותה והגדלת חסר